Keep moving, Frank. They're going to catch up to us. I can't make it. You'll have to help me.
What's your trouble, kids?
My ma's sick. Could you help us, mister?
Where is she?
Yonder.
Come on.
Over there.
There you are, darling. Nothing to be afraid of now.
Give it to me.
What you looking at, Doc?
The bullet holes and the bloodstains. You okay?
Those bloodstains won't come out. My sister tried everything she could.
Those are bullet holes.
What do you think they were, moth holes?
But didn't she get hurt?
Hell no, he did, though. Buried him yesterday.
He who?
The owner of the jacket I'm wearing, that's who. Ain't it obvious, Doc?
Yeah.
Say you been hitting that bottle a little more than you usually do?
Yeah. How's your patient?
Pretty badly, Doc. Gee, she won't take kindly anything I do for her.
Well, she have a good night?
Well, I suppose so. At least she's breathing.
Might as well look at her. She looks about the same, huh?
I'm afraid you're right, Doc. I'm real worried about her.
Does she eat a lot?
No, thank heavens. Reckon she knows we ain't got much to eat.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn it! What you all so happy about?
Bob harbored a gun and I took his bankroll.
Shut your mouth.
Aw.
We got money?
That's right.
A stranger?
Sure was.
You're certain now.
Of course I am.
Where's the money?
That's none of your business.
Now you listen to me. I'm the head of the house and I got a right to...
Sleep. Well, look who's here. Hey! Hey, Doc. How's my pig, all right?
Kind of thin. You know, I just found out what's wrong with her.
What is it?
She's hungry.
We're all hungry. Come on inside.
You looking for me?
That's right. You know why, Mac? Don't tell me you ain't sure what day it is.
A day like any other, mister, and you can tell your boss I ain't handing over another cent.
Just what are you talking about? I gotta remind you the law says...
To hell with the law. You know damn well Martin took my land, and everyone else's. Without asking the law if he could.
I warn you, Mac. You watch that mouth of yours.
All right, now you listen to me. I don't want anyone around here who takes orders from Martin. Get off my land.
Well, can I quote you on that?
I want you to. It don't bother me to be short of water. I'd rather keep my pride and go thirsty.
Those are strong words, Mac. I might have to kill you. It'd be self-defense. Because you look as if you're aiming that gun straight in my direction. I think you're trembling, Mac. Now, why don't you relax a while and pay out what's owed?
I don't know, Martin. Now get off my land.
Come on out. And see that both hands are up, here? Well, it's Todd Martin. If I'd have known that, I'd said please. Where's Pat? Your pappy sent me to collect what he's owed. Where'd you get it?
I ain't seen Pat around here all day. And to tell the truth, he won't be showing up till real late. So if you're going to catch him, you got a long wait ahead of you.
I don't mind at all.
You get along now.
Your pa said not to leave till I had the money. Todd?
That's what Pa said, huh?
Uh-huh.
But you can't collect twice, and Pat's already paid once.
He paid the lot? To you?
Yeah, to me, Danny. Any objections?
One, two, button my shoe. Stop the kidding, you little dork. Get up now. Here we go. One. Just keep quiet, I'll show you. All I gotta do is steady my...
I'll steady you.
Ma'am, I thank you.
My pleasure. You're welcome.
Sarah,
What is it now?
expecting anyone?
Expecting Danny. He's coming to collect.
Danny.
Well, I don't know who it is then.
Hey, wait a moment. Look, Ma, ain't that the man we robbed today? Come on, Katie, hurry.
You sure gonna know how to run when you're poor.
Morning.
Morning.
What are you after?
Easy there, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
I said, what do you want?
I'm Martin's new man.
Didn't anybody tell you that son of a polecat is a thieving, no-good, land-grabbing shyster?
Relax, ma'am. You complaining? You got 2 wells, Martin ain't treating you so bad. From what a man hears, 2 wells rare.
What you doing?
Well, I'd be obliged if I could just wash up a little. I got me a sore head for believing a couple of kids.
Mister, that well's run dry.
How about that one? Is it dried up?
Nah.
You got the money?
Don't know what money you're meaning, stranger.
Well, I'll tell you. It's the usual amount, and Martin sent me to collect it. Ah. Okay, let's have it. Now quit your stalling, because I'd hate to lose my patience.
No use.
You listen, thief. One day I'm going to shoot you where it really hurts.
You do that, man. You do that if it'll make you feel any better.
You ain't getting away with this. Just let me get my hands on him.
So long, man. See you next month.
Get out of here. Children,
minds of their own. That's the trouble.
All right, Rick. Suppose you tell us what this is all about. You think that was clever, murdering Mac?
He wouldn't pay. I had to set an example, or they'll all rebel.
I say Rick did right.
Quiet. No one requested your opinion, boy.
I thought you'd want me to do it.
Next time, ask me. The law protects us because we're in the right. No one can object to what's legal. Those squatters will pay, because the land's mine.
What are you sweating for? The sheriff ain't got nothing on us.
The sheriff ain't got nothing on us, because so far we ain't murdered anybody.
But, boss, didn't I tell you? It was self-defense, me or Mac.
Shut up, you imbecile. And don't forget that I make the decisions.
Yes, sir.
That's all for now. You stay, Danny. I prefer to have this out alone with you.
Just as well you did. I ain't got manners or schooling. I ain't been forced to learn respect, so you see, maybe I don't take kindly to being bawled out, especially in public. We understand each other?
I pay men for obeying my orders.
Boss, we're all aware of that.
You collect from Pat, not my son. Is that clear?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Anything else?
That's it.
So my orders are to collect from Pat, and nobody stops me. Is that right? Not even your son.
That's what I said.
Hey, Danny. Come over here a minute. The old man mad at you?
He was a little riled.
No sense of humor.
Have you got one?
Yeah. A good one.
I'm collecting from Pat.
A cobrar a ese hombre. Te guste o no a ti. Y a esa mujer.
Cualquiera que te oiga pensará que me estás amenazando.
Y eso mismo estoy haciendo.
Puede que hayas llegado a creerte todas esas historias tan terribles que se cuentan de ti.
Puede ser.
A mí me aburren. No te cruces en mi camino. Es un consejo.
Que no te he pedido.
El momento es bueno, patrón. Debemos comprar esa punta de ganado.
¿No será preferible esperar aún?
Creo que no. Alguien podría anticipársenos.
Tomorrow.
Take your advice. What is it, Todd?
I want to talk to you. You mind? I was just leaving. You can stick around.
Out with it, Todd.
Am I bothering you?
Well, what is it? Is there something wrong?
Trouble with Danny.
I made that decision.
There's no trouble about the decision. I don't give a damn about that. You can make all the decisions you like. That's your privilege, ain't it? But Danny's pushing me around, and I can't put up with that.
You're a fool, boy. You're pushing your luck because I spoiled you. You think you can get away with anything because you're my son.
Your stepson, you married my mother. That was all.
You trying to say I've been treating you badly? No one could have treated you better.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but my mother was well and truly tied to your wheelchair. You better not try harnessing me to it.
What's eating you, Todd? Quiet. Let him spit out everything he wants me to hear. Well?
I just wanted to tell you that I might have to kill your man, Danny. It's a real pity, because I know he's one of the best men you got.
Think before you try it. He'll set you in a box on Boot Hill.
Maybe so, but don't get in my way.
Charlie, don't be afraid. I'll take care of you. Yes, I...
Start crying now. Come on, Katie. Will you help us? My mom's been taken sick up in those rocks. You gotta help us. Please, mister?
Well, anybody get the idea you were trying to rob me? You know they hang people for little tricks like this. I think we ought to go to town and let you explain to the sheriff. Or would you prefer I went with you to your home for something to eat?
That's my chair, mister.
Well, you might have told me. I wouldn't have sat down here if I'd known that. What's your name, miss?
Sarah, and it ain't Miss.
Oh, Sarah. You happen to have any coffee? Thank you, ma'am. I bet that's a good cigar. After a meal, smoking relaxes you. You mind offering me one?
Huh? But this here's the only one I got.
Oh, that'll be plenty. I never smoke more than one after a meal. A man in town called Adam Martin. I heard he was here.
Mr. Martin owns a whole darn town.
All of it?
The town, the county, and even that chair you're sitting on.
A man owns that much, then something isn't right. What did he do that wasn't legal?
Huh? Oh. He didn't do nothing against the law. In fact, he was so legal-minded, the sheriff quit. Now, I'll tell you the whole story, mister. Martin comes into town some 10 years back, buys a ranch, in cash. Yeah, well, can you imagine that ranch happened to be at the head of a river irrigating a whole territory? Why, months later, the river run dry. At least Martin told everyone the river'd run dry.
It wasn't true. He changed the course of it.
Huh. But nobody's been able to prove that Martin wasn't telling the truth about it. A couple foolhardy boys just happened to wander onto Martin's spread. And would you believe it if I told you? We ain't heard from them since. Of course, pretty soon the land started getting dry and beasts started dying. Did you ever try to keep a hog alive on whiskey? Well, comes a time when folks are getting desperate. And that's when Mr. Martin comes out with a right kindly offer. I'll buy your land, he said. Of course, it ain't worth a lot. Next to nothing. All it'll grow is cactus. So we all sold. And guess what, a miracle?
You've got the water.
You guessed it. Well, on account of the miracle, Mr. Martin makes us a new deal. We stay and work the land. But he says, gotta be reimbursed for my generosity, so I'll rent it to you. There wasn't any choice. He had us hogtied.
Nobody tried refusing to pay.
Oh, yeah. Lots did. And you can find them all in the cemetery.
I've never heard the like.
You a friend of his?
Not really.
Well, I bet he is, and you ought to hold your tongue.
You're getting all riled, Sarah.
Why did you ask about him if you're not a friend of his?
Why not?
Tonight, you going to the saloon?
Guess so.
And you're going without a gun?
Why not?
You know this is the finest coat I ever did see.
You mind saying what you mean?
Oh, of course not. You see, most evenings I work in the saloon.
You're a singer?
No. I keep the place clean.
Oh, they pay you well?
No, not a cent. But I'm allowed to take away anything that can't walk out on its own.
It doesn't sound like it's worth your while.
Give me a hand, Jimmy. Look at that. A whole wardrobe. Someone's always getting bumped off in the saloon. Not bad, huh? Shirts, vests, coats, pants. Of course, mister, you have to mend them a little, but you never can tell what you'll find in the pockets. I must say, that's the prettiest jacket I ever saw. You really going to the saloon tonight?
Why, sure. And you're going to have plenty of work.
That's good with me. I could use some new clothes.
Hey, you like that, huh? Tonight's a special night. You know that, kid?
¿Y por qué? Because I say so. You gotta follow your hunches, kid, in our kind of work. Why, I remember... Oh, what's the use? That's the trouble with kids nowadays. You're greener now when I found you. Vámonos. Easy not now. We don't want to tire ourselves out on those two boys. And what's this ominous, eh? Can't you speak right?
What's your pleasure, mister?
A beer, if you please.
What are you reading?
A book, do you mind?
No, I don't mind.
Hey, Todd, look who's here.
Howdy. I'll open.
Sheriff? You hear about my brother?
I'm awful sorry. 2 cards for me.
The man who did it's in here. Well, you just gonna sit there? Can't you do something?
Ain't nothing I can do. Question of a fair fight. And you know it. Cost you 25. If you want to see me, is it worth it to you?
You're crazy! Why, you... Mac was murdered by one of Martin's gunmen. You call that a fair fight? Then I know what I gotta do.
Miguel.
Hey, Sheriff. Did you get a load of that shooting? Fair fight, eh?
Damn meddler. Cut that out, mister. Don't suppose you're looking for trouble, so why don't you do yourself a big favor? That'll please us all. Don't go poking your eyeglasses to business that don't concern you.
Take it easy, Sheriff. This slicked-up fancy dude that feels free to shoot his mouth off because he don't know how to use a gun.
I was well schooled to use this, though I always wanted to try a gun, so if there's one handy.
Sure, use mine. I can recommend it. Here you are. Stranger, you shouldn't have.
He was one of Adam Martin's men.
Do you know Martin?
Slightly.
Oh, well, boys, maybe you could take me to him. He's just the man I want to see.
He's going to want to see you, seeing as how you just murdered one of his men, mister.
Fair fight. Just amazing what a gun can do, isn't it? Now, will one of you show me the way?
You bet your life, friend.
Well, why do you want to see me?
First, since we don't know each other, the name's Lassiter.
Murdering one of my best men is enough introduction for me.
Well, he sure wasn't very quick on the draw.
All right. You came here to tell me something, didn't you? Now, what is it?
A mutual friend set me looking for you.
Who was it?
You know him real well.
Huh?
He's called Frank. Frank Nolan.
Frank? You know him too, huh?
Yes, I do.
And about Frank and me?
Only that it's been more than a few years since both of you saw each other.
Glad you came. Tell me where he is.
You really want to know?
Where is he now? You're going to talk? The boys will easily persuade you.
You know, that just wouldn't be very smart. The sheriff knows where I went. Of course, he isn't too intelligent. But if I don't return to town, a fool would know where to start asking around. And I reckon the law wouldn't be too sad at having the possibility of putting you away for a while. Yep.
It's all right.
This painting is magnificent. It's from Europe, ain't it? Must have cost a lot, huh?
Let's talk business. The information's on the market, right? Well, how much do you want?
Kind of difficult naming a price for bringing two old friends together. But I guess I could do it for, let's see now, $1,500?
Why, you cheap crook. I'm gonna...
You ought to watch out, or it'll cost you more.
Hold it, Danny.
I didn't come here to be insulted. Look, all I want is to get paid. And it just went up to $2,000.
I'll pay. You win. Where's your information?
The cash first. No one's that foolish now.
If I give you the cash, what proof do I have that the information is correct?
If I talk first, could happen that you won't turn over the money. I'll tell you what we'll do. Pay $1,000 now, and I'll give you what you're after. When Frank's been found, you'll give me the rest. Thanks, Martin. There's a farm about 30 miles straight north of Amarillo, sitting at the foot of the Rojo Hills. It's the only one around, so you can't miss it. It's your friend Frank's.
It's going to take about 3 days to get there and come back.
You've waited 10 years. What's 3 days to you?
Yeah. But I want you to stick around, just in case I don't find Frank.
Don't worry. You'll find him. You forgetting already? Come now, Martin. I wouldn't throw away $1,000. See ya. So long, kid.
$2,000. You really want this man. Who is Frank Nolan?
The man who plugged me in the back. It's because of that I have to use this wheelchair. But now I'm going to get even with him. He'll take my son and get me Frank, but don't harm him.
Right, boss.
Frank's a mean shot. When he was young, he was the fastest gun around and would face up to most anybody. So watch out for him.
Now remember what your pa said. Nolan's dangerous.
You wouldn't be scared, would you?
There's no telling what he might do. We've got to take him alive, Todd. You ready?
Uh-huh.
You go that way. I'll take the bag.
only there'd be a downpour. Afternoon. Can I help you?
We got told this is where we could find Frank Knowlton.
Uh-huh. You got told right.
Well, where is he?
In front of you. I'm Nolan.
For real? Where are your guns? I heard you were a mean shot.
A lot of water been under the bridge since then. Now it's just Frank. The poor devil.
We figured you for a pistolero. Guess that strikes you as kind of funny, don't it?
Guess my pa exaggerated a little.
Yeah, you might figure that. What's his name?
Martin. His name's Adam Martin.
Martin. I reckon I must have known that he'd have come.
Surprised, huh?
No, I've been waiting, I guess.
Now we better be on our way. We want to get somewhere by sundown.
All right.
You want to get anything? Take with you?
I ain't got nothing else.
Let's go.
I worked real hard for these sprouts.
Solo por las verduras. Estoy seguro que este año habrían crecido, con que hubiera llovido un poco.
Agresión, rapiña y ahora robo. Dame ese dinero. ¿O es que quieres que vayamos al sheriff? ¿Qué ibas a hacer tú con tanto dinero?
Irme. Irme de aquí con los niños.
¿Irte? ¿A dónde?
Al infierno. ¿A ti qué te importa?
¿Sabes que tienes muy mal carácter para ser mujer?
¿Crees que es fácil ser mujer aquí?
No se puede decir que tú hagas muchos esfuerzos.
Escucha, gran hombre. En mi vida solo he tenido 2 momentos de debilidad. Duermen ahí fuera. Uno se llama Katy y el otro Jimmy. No, muchas gracias. ¿De qué te ríes?
Give her a guess. What kind of man it was that convinced you to weaken a little?
No one ever forces me to weaken. I always decide for myself. That clear?
Didn't you find what you were looking for, Sarah?
Maybe I didn't. But one thing's certain, it's not the man who's in front of me now.
Well, you can't be sure unless you give him a try.
Don't you ever try that again.
Listen to me a moment, will you? Take it easy. Don't worry, I'm not about to try it again, believe me. But I tell you, Sarah, if there's some way I can help to get you out of trouble, you know I'll be here.
It's mighty difficult to believe you're the man my father described. The man who shot him in the back.
What do you mean, son?
Didn't you know?
I've been wondering for over 10 years if my aim that day was true.
It was. It sent him to a wheelchair.
You know, it's the only time I ever backshot a man.
What's the real story? I always wondered.
Ain't surprising. You're his son.
No. He's my stepfather, that's all.
Well, that's your problem. We've been looking for trouble. Both of us were full of hell and always ready to make a little mischief. We didn't break the law until he decided to pull a bank robbery. We got $20,000 for our pains, and then beat it out of town. I was wounded, though, and in no condition to make a run for it. Then your stepfather grabs the cash, rides off with it. I fired once. I was found guilty and ended up in the state prison.
And you didn't tell?
They tried their darndest to find out who my partner had been. They weren't easy on me when they saw I wouldn't talk, but they couldn't make me.
Why not?
I'll tell you the reason. I wanted to take care of it in my own way. And that would have been murdering Martin the moment I'd gotten out of jail. But time passed. There ain't no one can stay angry for 10 years. And then one day I realized I'd forgotten about it. And it wasn't that important. Peace and quiet was all I wanted.
It ain't gonna be peace you'll get. From Martin.
I suppose not if you sent for me. But right now, there ain't all that much I can do about it.
Lassiter, quit that snapping. Impatient? I know you are. The both of us are impatient. You're waiting for one friend. But I'm waiting for lots of them. That Frank? You're looking well.
Lassiter. I never thought you'd betray a friend.
Oh, that was when we were both in jail in Missouri. You confided in me, Frank. So it's your fault that Martin got you. A buck's a buck.
You were my friend, you bastard.
All right, that's enough. Your boy's still kind of low, ain't it, Frank?
You can go now.
Hey, your memory ain't good. Only one hand's hurt. The other one's still able to pick up $1,000. You about to break your word, Martin?
Of course not. But I don't have the cash here. I'll get it to you tomorrow.
You will? I'd have preferred it now, Martin. Though there's really nothing against doing it your way, is there? So while we're discussing the subject, what is your way?
I don't want any trouble. Wait at the abandoned mine just out of town at sundown tomorrow. And you'll...
Be sure to. So long. Adios.
Well, Martin, instead of robbing the banks, you're putting your money in them now, huh?
Shut up.
Come now. You become respectful, rich, law-abiding. So I don't...
That's enough of your sarcasm.
What do you hate me the most for? Crippling you? Or for your fear that I just might be tempted to tell the sheriff how you got all this?
That'd get the law after you, too.
Oh, no, it wouldn't. I paid my debt to the law with 10 years in prison.
So that's what makes you feel free to crow. Anyway, it won't save you from dying. You must have been aware of that, I'm sure, before you rode into the yard. I want to give you time to make your peace with the Lord, though.
Oh, really? I'll be alive, amigo. I have a friend with a letter telling the whole story. If I'm killed, that letter goes straight to the sheriff.
Glad you told me now. I might have killed you without knowing.
Yeah, that would have been an awful shock to you, wouldn't it? Just think. I'd have gotten killed one day, and you'd have been brought in the next.
What now?
Kill me if you like. But believe me, the letter exists.
Frank, I believe you.
¿Verdad? Nunca te tuve por tonto. Bien. ¿Quién tiene esa carta?
Eso tiene gracia, Martín. Acabas de decir que no soy tonto.
You'll never find out from me.
Oh, won't I?
¡Quítate! ¡Déjalo ya!
If you don't, mister.
Quick thinking, Martin. Yeah, he could have fired. You'd be a fool to let him murder me. And you're the smartest man I've ever run into. I knew you when you were poor. But, Martin, you made a fortune out of our money.
Did you say ours?
Well, sure, half of it belongs to me. Or had you forgotten? I gotta thank you for getting us together. I've been meaning to check in my investment.
You mean the 10 grand?
No. You ain't getting off that easy, boy. I mean 1/2 of what you got now.
Have you gone loco? I took all the risks.
I'd given you a hand. Too bad that I wasn't around. Business is business. Half or nothing. I wouldn't be here if you hadn't sent for me. Don't forget that. I want half or nothing. You know, I might have asked for more. But consider yourself lucky. Get the money to me within a week. You hear, Martin? Within a week.
You know, mentioning that letter was kind of cute.
It exists, that's for sure. It figures, too. That man was never a fool.
So you're going to pay, huh?
Not yet. There must be a way. There has to be a way to...
You know, Pa, I just thought. Lassiter will also...
that opportunist. The problem is Frank. Danny, before I forget, send 2 of the boys of the abandoned mine to take care of Lassiter. That's all now.
There he is.
I don't see a gun.
That sling he's wearing might be hiding a gun, so keep your eye on him.
You Martin's men?
Ouch! What the hell are you doing?
I'm sorry. Just wanted to see if that hand of yours was better.
Have you got the cash with you? So that's it.
Yep, and if you stand right there, mister, it won't hurt. Hey, Daddy, I was looking for you. Tomorrow you got to go over to the...
I know what I got to do.
Yeah, what?
Before we went to get Frank, your pa gave me an order. And tomorrow I'm going to carry it out. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Todd?
You mean you're going to collect from Pat?
That's right.
I'm taking care of Danny. I don't want to remind you again.
You're in love with his daughter. That it, Todd? She's just taking you for a ride. Yeah, Pat's daughter makes time with a lot of the boys.
Repeat that.
No. You heard me the first time, I'm sure. I never repeat myself.
Scared to, I bet, right?
Not in this case, or in any other. And, Todd, you'd better watch what you're saying.
That right? Well, if you don't like what I'm saying, try shutting my mouth.
Get at me once more, Todd, and I'll be delighted to.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry to disturb you. Where's Martin? Unfortunately, I've got sad news. 2 of his men got a little shot up this afternoon. Yeah. Near the mine. Just thought I'd let you know. I can't resent you trying to kill me, seeing how things turned out. But you really hurt me trying to withhold that last payment.
That's 3 men now. Pushing me a little, aren't you, mister?
That's right. The way I figure, you and I still got business together.
You telling me? What did you come back for, mister?
I got a piece of news you'd like to get a hold of.
What about?
Well, it's about that letter. You know, the one Frank mentioned?
Is it you that's got it?
No. But I know who has.
How is it you know that letter exists, Lassiter?
My intuition. Frank is still alive. So I figured he must have mentioned the letter. Otherwise, he wouldn't be. He told me all about it while we were in jail together. Amazing how a man will talk while he's in jail.
Where is it?
Knowing ought to be worth a lot to you.
So that's it. How much?
I want $50,000, plus the 1,000 you still owe me.
Ah, you're loco.
I reckon Frank asked you for a lot more. Paying Frank isn't going to solve anything. He can always ask you for more when he feels like it. Look at it this way. If I give you the letter, you have nothing to worry about, because poor old Frank's no longer a risk, especially if he dies suddenly.
Who said that's going to happen?
Well, I was merely showing you the advantages of doing business with me.
Yep, you're right.
We're agreed then. I'll go get the letter. I should be back in about 3 or 4 days, no longer.
I hope not.
Maybe I better remind you how to do business with me. I want half the money in advance.
That's a hell of a lot of cash.
Uh-huh, but I just reckon you might happen to have it around this time. Thank you. I'll leave tomorrow.
Why don't you leave now?
It's liable to be dangerous traveling at night. You understand what I mean, don't you?
Shall I follow him?
No, he'll keep his word.
All that cash.
I'll worry about that after I've gotten hold of that letter. Yeah. Then I'm going to worry about getting back the money.
Danny? What are you doing? I thought I told you to stay away from here.
Yeah, that's what you said, but your father said something different to me.
Oh. Cut that out. Cut it out. Shut your mouth, you hear? I'll make you. You.
That wasn't smart.
You were warned.
That's how it is. You'd better draw fast, boy.
En cuanto a usted. En cuanto a mí, me desagrada, pero tengo que irme. Es un viaje que le interesa mucho a su padre, como sabe. Gracias, padre, muy amable. Me he detenido un momento con esta buena gente para refrescarme un poco y para que descansara el caballo. Pero ahora debo marcharme.
Nos veremos a su vuelta. Porque me imagino que volverá.
Claro que sí. ¿Cómo no? Adiós. Adiós.
Quiero saber lo que tiene en la cabeza ese maldito Lassiter. Lleva 3 días encerrado en nuestra casa como si fuera el amo.
Dímelo a mí. Son 3 noches que duerme en mi cama y yo en el suelo. Por otra parte, si habla es peor. Acabamos todos en la cárcel. Esperemos que se canse y se vaya. Ay.
Ya, pero mientras tanto está aquí y come, ¿no?
Ha debido de coger aquí esa enfermedad.
La cosa es que ya no hay nada más que comer. Hace 8 días que no llega un forastero.
Efectivamente. La gente debía de viajar más.
Solo nos queda una cosa que hacer. Matar al cerdo.
¡Asesinarlo! Sara, tú lo sabes. Preferiría que me cortasen un brazo.
No sabría lo mismo. Nada, es preciso matarlo.
Pero no es posible.
¿Tienes dinero para comprar comida?
Ya sabes que no. ¿No podrías pedírselo a Lassiter?
¿A él? Antes me muero de hambre. No, el cerdo es nuestra única solución. Esta noche lo degüello.
Extraordinario.
¿Qué pasa, doctor?
Este animal es una prueba de lo inexplicables que son los designios de Dios. Parece que siempre está ejercitándose a morir. Su vida no tiene objeto ni siquiera para la continuación de la especie, porque si tratara de reproducirse acabaría muerto por el esfuerzo. Y, sinceramente, no es bueno ni para comerse.
Desgraciadamente no todos piensan.
Go ahead and die. She ain't good for nothing. You can't. If you did, the effort would kill her for sure.
That'd be murder, I tell you. Every breath that animal breathes is a challenge to all of nature. But it'd be criminal. We mustn't let her murder that pig, Pedro.
Doc, just how you suppose I'm gonna stop her? Kids gotta eat.
Yeah.
And no one'll give us a loan.
No, eh?
It's only a loan, Doc, and I give it back to you the minute I was able to.
What you got by way of security?
Bah, security. And I wondered why they called you a mean old buzzard.
McBride's goat's been skittering all week. Must forget to analyze it. It's from a butterfly collection. No one had it somewhere. Here it is.
You're a gentleman and a scholar, Doc. Yeah. And you're a judge of good whiskey.
Where's that coffee? Huh? Oh. You wouldn't have poisoned it.
Who knows? Maybe I want to get rid of you.
That right? Well, I like coffee, so why not die drinking it? Thanks.
Sarah.
Thanks. Might have known you'd find a way not to kill the pig.
Women.
You sure did. Let me show you something.
You see that, Lassiter? The boy shook the post.
Sure, I saw it. Now, if you want to shoot straight, you got to learn the proper way to hold a gun.
Huh? What do you mean?
The balance is what's important, you see?
Yeah.
I'll show you. Simple, isn't it?
Well, I'll be hog-tied.
Well, now, you want your gun back?
Sure goes to show you it ain't just a question of pulling the trigger and praying.
Now you know.
Gotta get to practicing. One day I'll be so darn fast, I'll show Martin this land is mine.
In the meantime, does the idea of earning $10 hold any interest for you?
Sure, why?
Well, now, I want you to do me a little favor.
Sure. What do you want, mister? Ain't the end of the month yet.
Easy, friend. I quit the job. Didn't like working for Martin.
Well, that was smart of you.
I know you ain't partial to those men. I just thought I'd say howdy.
You said it.
Adios.
I've got a hunch about tonight.
¿Qué, patrón?
It's going to be something very special.
¿Por qué especial?
Kid, you sure are lucky to be working with a man like me.
Oh, sí.
But if you're going to be a success, there's one thing you got to do, boy. Stop speaking Spanish.
You're kind of quiet, ain't you? What's eating you, anyway?
Nothing. No, I don't expect you to believe that.
Yeah, I guess I know. Pa got all riled at you, ain't it? Why, sure he's mad at you. He's mad at you, kid, because you killed Danny.
You heard me warn him. He's the one taught me not to let anyone get in my way.
You're pushing your luck. You know that, Todd. And I wouldn't say that if I wasn't fond of you.
Oh, sure. But you're also extremely fond of Martin, presumably.
Both of you.
Strange, you know. He really tried to act like Pa, and he didn't make it, did he?
Even if that's true, Martin's fond of you in his own way.
Donovan, he treats me like he treats everybody else. You remember how he used my mother. She waited on him hand and foot, always pushing his darn wheelchair. And he made me learn to aim a gun and to hate. And that's about it. It ain't been much.
If that's the way you feel, Todd, I don't understand why you don't leave here.
Where would I go, I'd like to know. This world ain't got no place for the likes of me. I can't even learn my lessons right. For example, Frank and Lassiter. Guess you all hate him because my father says to. Well, I ain't about to hate unless I got...
Now. Turn around slow. Ain't that Lassiter?
Give me a whiskey. Forget your book? I only read in saloons on Mondays.
Lassiter, where the hell have you been? You pussyfooting coward.
Oh, I was out of town.
Running?
That's what you thought? You want a piece of advice? Take a look in that mirror, Frank. Do it, will you? You've gone to seed. Who'd run from you?
Don't let it fool you, boy. If somebody lend me a gun, I'd plug you with my left hand.
Well, it ain't difficult to borrow a gun in here if you ask around. I borrowed one myself a few days ago. And Frank, use your right hand.
All right, now, you push me about as far as I'm going. I'm going to pay you back for what you did to me.
You got a big mouth, Frank. But I warn you, you ain't fast enough to match yourself against me. Why, this ain't proving a thing. So put your gun down now. There must be some other way to...
Take your seat, kid.
He was a real friend.
Yes, sir. I noticed.
Hold it.
We're going to visit Martin.
Oh, ain't that something? You can put away the gun. That's just where I was heading for.
Well, mister, we're going along with you, just so you don't lose your way. Get moving.
Why, you... What the hell made you kill him?
He wanted to pick a fight. I warned him he wasn't fast enough, and he wouldn't listen to me.
The crazy fool. That damn letter will be...
No, don't worry about it. You know, after that first business we had, I was figuring on finding you wiser. I told you, I wouldn't have the letter for you right away. It took a while. I only got it today.
Let me see it. Then I'll believe you.
First, you gotta show me.
My side of the bargain, huh? I'm through playing games with you. Search him. Get this through your head right now. Nobody ever gets to dictate to me, Lassiter. You bamboozled me when I first met you. But not anymore. You're just a cheap blackmailer. Did you search his room?
Yeah, boss. But I might just as well have saved myself the trouble. If the letter had been there, I'd have found it.
If you don't mind me asking, what are you playing me for? My patience is wearing as thin as paper. Where's that letter, Lassiter? You'll talk or I'll force you. Are you going to tell me now? Because I would in your shoes.
Oh, Martin, beating me will never satisfy you. Money's the only thing that'll make me talk.
I could kill you.
You're right there, but I wouldn't advise it. I thought you'd realize. I reckon you wouldn't have. I left instructions in case you tried to get away with murder. It's only fair, Martin. Are you forgetting? The deal's made. You know my price. And it's an honest price, too.
Sure, Mr. Lassiter. I ain't averse to doing it your way. Just let my boys have their fun first. You ready? You ready to talk yet?
I told you, Martin. You won't make me.
You want to bet? Now, where's that letter?
Vete al infierno.
How do you feel now, mister?
Bad. Real bad, Martin. But believe me, it's nothing compared to what you feel. If you don't pay me. And while we're talking about that, I got a hankering to raise my price. Frank's letter will cost you $100,000, Martin, in cash.
You're mad.
So people say. Though I reckon it don't matter much. Think what you got riding on that letter.
I'll pay.
Yeah, and I advise you not to try any of your tricks. Get the money to the sheriff's office. Noon tomorrow.
He's got the upper hand. There's only one thing to do. Pay up. I trust you to ride into town. Withdraw the money at the bank. Then walk it on over to the sheriff's office. And Todd, don't slip up. Get me that letter.
You ain't gonna let him get away with it.
Sure, at first. You'll follow Lassiter out of town and get back the cash.
He might want to walk it back over to the bank with the sheriff.
No, he wouldn't have reason to. Because I'm convinced he won't figure on sticking around. All right? What's the matter, Donovan?
Bushwhacking ain't my job. Make one of your gunmen do it. I was only hired to ramrod. I made that clear to you. And besides, I'm against killing in cold blood, so...
I don't trust a man often. But I trust you. I wouldn't ask you otherwise.
It's up to you.
You leaving town? No, sir. I'm about to try my hand at poker.
It's all strict legal, ain't it?
Why, sure. You got any idea why it wouldn't be?
Well, where's that queen? Being it's kind of unusual.
I figured you'd want to know what it's all about. Your badge is what could be called insurance. You see, I'm about to be given a whole lot of money for that deed you got there. And I just want to make sure that
everything's above board.
That's right, Sheriff. If after that fair fight incident in the saloon, I figure it's wise to be careful.
¿Qué quiere decir? Solo que el hombre que viene puede sentir la tentación de...
Those, then you have saloons. Well, you're being most obliging, you know that, Sheriff?
Can I finish my game?
Why, of course, feel free. I won't say another word, I promise. Don't forget I said that. Oh, Todd, I want you to meet an old friend of mine, the sheriff.
We've met.
Can I make sure? Thank you, Todd. You got that deed I gave you, Sheriff? You satisfied?
Sure.
Ain't you gonna check it?
Oh, I was never good at figures. Give my regards to your pa, Todd.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry.
Sure.
Get the letter? I asked you if you got the letter.
I heard you.
Where is it, Todd? Did you get me that letter?
Well, now, I do have it, Martin, but maybe I won't give it to you.
Well, I didn't expect it of you.
I didn't expect it of you. Well, now, I reckon that ain't all you're going to say. Won't you get mean? Won't you get real mean? You got reason to.
Don't act like a fool, Todd. Give me that letter.
You know, when I was coming back here just now, I said to myself, Todd, you could put your old man in jail with that letter. I nearly fell off my horse.
Pull yourself together.
If you knew what I'm planning for you, you'd pass dead away. I've been waiting on this moment. Yeah, waiting 20 long years.
That's what you might call gratitude, but it doesn't surprise me in the least. I made a mistake treating you as my son, being as generous with you as I was.
Well, I must admit the victuals in the bed's been a letter of yours. And maybe one day I'll take it over to the sheriff and put him wise to you.
I'm going to call the boys to stop you.
Is that so?
de no haber sido por tu madre.
No la nombres. No quisiera tener que hacer lo que una vez le prometí que no haría. Matarte.
Acaba de una vez y dime lo que quieres.
¡Irme! Irme de aquí para siempre. Quizá no entregue nunca esa carta. Prefiero pensar que estás ahí clavado esperando que aparezca la ley.
Aún puedo evitar que te vayas.
Hazlo.
It won't help much. Still, if you want to try it, Martin, sing out! Damon! Damon! Stop him! Go on, shoot him down! You hear me? Do as I say!
I don't want to hurt you. Now undo your gun belt.
You must be out of your mind. I always was too fast for you. I warn you, don't be a fool.
There's two against you. Your gun belt.
Well, that seemed to go all right.
Yeah, just fine.
You sure made a quick recovery, boy. You feel all right?
Can't complain. Though hiding out in these hills a couple of days ain't been too good for my indigestion, I'll tell you.
You're ready for the grand finale, aren't you? Let me go with you.
Nope. No thanks. This account's mine. Bye, amigo.
This run of luck you're having today is just luck, isn't it?
What do you figure to mean by that, Sheriff? Just because you ain't winning in it doesn't mean that I'm cheating on you.
Who said anything about cheating? I just mentioned your run of luck. Can we finish the game now?
Hey, you got a customer.
All right, I'm coming.
I'd have come without your hollering, too. What do you want? Whiskey. Make it a double. Has Donovan been in? No, not today.
And raise 5.
I'm out.
You're 5. And another 20.
$20, eh?
Barricade.
That all you got?
You should have backed down. I knew he had you, Jim.
Sorry about that. Something told me you couldn't beat a full house.
Sheriff, I know you want to finish your game, but that man Donovan's just been shot dead.
My deal, ain't it? Who's dead, Lassiter?
You ain't as surprised as I was, I admit. There I was riding my horse, and he comes rolling down the side of this gully. Old Donovan.
Did he confide who did it?
Well, I know I owe you a favor, Sheriff, but to tell you the truth, he was in no condition to confide in me. Aren't you expecting a bit much?
You know, I'm thinking you're the one that gunned him down.
Todd, aren't you mighty young to be acting as both judge and jury?
He was my friend, Lassiter. He was my friend.
I could be wrong, Sheriff. But I think Cowboy Todd knows more about this than he wants to say. There was his friend behind the rocks with a gun. And there was me on my horse. And with all that money.
I know what you're thinking. That we tried to bushwhack you, right?
That's about it, to tell the truth. After all, now, it does run in your family.
I don't have much choice, do I?
Before you get carried away, Todd, why don't we buy a bottle, talk it over?
I've always admired your sense of humor, Lassiter. You scared of me?
Pedro! Pedro!
I don't know about you, Miguel. Darn Mexicans.
I figure I'll pay off that count with you.
Oh, don't put yourself out if you can't afford it.
Well, it wasn't that much.
If you say so.
Are you ready?
Yeah, you could say I'm ready. I'll join you outside. Well, there's always the possibility. He's faster than I thought.
Could be.
And this money is all yours, if that's the way.
Why, I hope you're right.
I know he'll try for you. I ought to warn you. I've counted all that money. Just go. I don't want to kill you, boy. That was your last chance.
A fair fight, all right. He warned the kid.
Yeah. Just my luck.
Donovan? Donovan?
Surprised to see me, Martin?
But I heard that you
were dead, Martin? And my supposed death made you feel real good, I imagine. Well, I would have dragged myself back from hell to settle our account.
I had to do it, Frank. And I bet you'd have taken the money if I'd have been wounded. Wouldn't you? Besides, you wouldn't have made it anyway.
You're scared of me, Martin. I might have guessed you weren't much of a hero. 10 long years I've been waiting for this moment. Every day. Minute by minute. Waiting. I mean to put you right back where you came from. Do you hear me, Martin?
No. I'll give you the money. All of my money, just...
You're gonna crawl, Martin. Go get that gun. I wouldn't want you to think I'm gonna murder you.
My gun won't help me, Frank. Cripple can't outshoot you. I'll give you the money.
You gave enough already. It's too late to bargain. I'm giving you a chance, which is more than you gave me. You're gonna start crawling? Because I'm gonna count to 3, and if you don't start, then I'm gonna shoot your heel off. 1. 2.
Patron, despiértese. I got the hunch.
You mean you got a hunch, Miguel? Maybe you better go back to speaking Spanish.
Pedro.
Miguel, I swear somebody just called my name. Somebody I carried to Boot Hill.
Well, no, Patron, don't say that. I can get the menaces.
Pedro.
The menaces, huh?
Get Lassiter, and quickly.
Why, you've been shot for real this time. What happened?
Get me Lassiter. Go on.
Lassiter, come here.
Frank. I just had to give him a chance. I must have missed the first time. Find the doc, quick. It's no use, Pedro. I'm about to kick the buckets.
You should let me go along with you.
Yeah, maybe. The plan was fine. Wasn't it, Lassiter? We cornered Martin, Lassiter. Even better than I figured we would. Only I missed the first time. Listen to me. I want to thank you. Sorry, Pedro. I ain't even got the money for my own funeral. But I know Lassiter will pay it for me.
to clear out of here the minute she gets here. Come on, come on. You eat all you want now. Where, Don Santa? Here, I'll take it.
Y'all ready to go?
Let me see the money. Come on, let me see the money.
That pig, that dirty swine. He planned the whole thing, I bet you.
Well, look who's coming.
Sure hope you haven't packed your coffee box.
Get out of here, I tell you.
Sarah? Oh, forget it.
What happened? Don't ask me. Now that Mom stopped hollering, it's kind of hard to tell. One thing's for sure, he didn't get what she said get. Let's have a look.
Don't worry, you'll get invited to the wedding.